Hello, welcome to another video. Today we are doing a little bit of a out of the Jade box video. What is out of the Jade book box? We're gonna be briefly talking about a few of the books on my shelf that I have a funny feeling I might like, despite the fact that they are very much out of the Jade box. I've pulled a few off my shelf that I'm going to share with you. Obviously, I haven't read any of these, so I don't know what they're really about. I'm just basing this off vibes, what I've heard, what people have told me, blurbs. But despite being out of my normal, comfort zone, they're just a little bit out of the Jade book box. So we're gonna just have a flick through what some of those are today. These are in no particular order, and this isn't necessarily a TBR for anything. It's not even really a TBR, just books that are on my TBR. But if you know anything particularly about any of these books and you either think, yes, you're gonna love that, or no, that's not gonna be for you, let me know. I would be really curious to see what you think. Because I think, although these are out of my box, I might actually like them. So let's have a little flick through. Top of my pile, I have Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. This is a character-driven political sci-fi with a romantic plot going on as well. So immediately the romance is a bit like, really, Jade, really? And honestly, also, political sci-fi. I don't think I've read any political sci-fi, so this is definitely going to be something new for me, and I think I'm going to like it. I like political fantasy, which makes me think that political sci-fi would also be up my street. So this is about the Iskat Empire that rules planets through a system of treaties, and a prince who's a key figure in a political alliance is killed and a replacement must be found. So his widower is rushed into an arranged marriage. Here comes the romance plotline, I can imagine, but it's a political alliance marriage, so a little bit outside of my normal go-to. But I'm hoping that the political elements of this will keep my interest high, and also the sci-fi elements of it. But it is a little bit outside of my box, a little bit like, but I have a sneaky suspicion that I might like this. If you've read it, let me know what you think. Next up, I have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This one's been on my TBR for a really long time. It is a bit of a TBR vet for me. I have a sneaking suspicion that I am going to love this, but it's a sci-fi thriller, and thrillers are not normally my thing. And in fact, the blurb makes it sound like something I might not enjoy so much because it leans more into the thrillery aspect of it, I think. Are you happy in your life? Those are the last words Jason Dessen hears before the masked abductor knocks him unconscious, before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits, before the man he's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back." See, then we think, okay, bit of time warpiness, sci-fi-y, maybe. So it's a little bit of a mix of maybe I'll like that element, but the thrillery element of it might not be inside my normal box, but I have a funny feeling that the combination of the two will be good. Also, I know that this has had some fantastic reviews from people that I know and trust, which also makes me think that it's probably going to be one that I'm going to end up enjoying. We will see. Again, if you've read it, let me know. Next up, we have King and the Dragonflies by Kaysen Callender. This is a hard-hitting middle-grade contemporary, I think. I haven't read it, but it's about a young boy and his dead brother. So, But King is convinced that his brother isn't dead, and he's instead turned into a dragonfly. But he's got to keep this secret to himself as he watches grief consume his family. It would be easier if King could talk to his best friend Sandy, but before he'd died, his brother had told him to end the friendship. and then in quotation marks, "You don't want anyone to think you're gay too, do you?" Sandy suddenly goes missing. King's forced to confront questions about himself and the reality of his brother's death. In this raw, exquisite story, we see that love can set us free. Hard-hitting, middle grade contemporary. Sounds like it's going to be devastating. However, I have heard nothing but fantastic reviews for this, and I really want to give it a chance, so I want to read this at some point. And because I've heard nothing but fantastic reviews, I think it's probably going to hit me in the feels, and I might love it too. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. We'll see what happens. Next up, I have Rosalind Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. Foodie romance. I relatively recently read Love and Other Disasters. Who was that one by? Anita Kelly. It was by Anita Kelly. And I really enjoyed that because of its foodie elements. It was just a feel-good read. I had a good time, but the foodie elements kept me going, despite the fact that it was a romance. And people said that because I enjoyed that, I should read this one. It's again a foodie romance set against a reality baking show. So it's very similar in theme to Love and Other Disasters, which I really liked, so I hope that I really like this one as well. And maybe we found my niche of romance that I possibly like. We will see. I have decent expectations for this. We'll see what happens. Next up, we have A Million Junes by Emily Henry. This is one that I'd kind of had my eye on for a really long time, and then only sort of recently actually got my hands on it. But this, I think, is a speculative contemporary about a young girl whose family tells her to stay away from this other family, and they have, like, this real problem with this other family, but she doesn't really know why. But she ends up kind of accidentally forming a friendship with the boy from this family, and as their friendship grows, they find that magic, ghosts, and coy wolves of five fingers seem to be conspiring to reveal the truth about the harrowing curse that has plagued their bloodlines for generations. June must question everything she knows about her family and the father she adored, and must decide whether it's finally time to let go. Like, I'm not really sure what the vibe of this book is, so I'm putting it in out of my comfort zone, like out of my box. I'm not sure what the vibe is, but I've had my eye on it for quite a while, and I really hope that I like it. We will see. If you've read this one, feel free to let me know what it's actually about. 2, let me know if you think I'd enjoy it. Next up, we have The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. This cover is absolutely beautiful, and I think this is like a sci-fi eco-thriller? Maybe? There's an eco-city, 2 sisters, and an unputdownable story. 3 years ago, C woke up on the shore of an abandoned island with no idea how she got there. She lives in a shack with an aging android and a single memory. She has a sister. Now she has to escape to find her. From the safety of the eco-city flying above Earth, now decimated by natural disasters, 16-year-old Casey mourns her sister. She's convinced C is dead. She too wants to escape. The eco-city is meant to be a sanctuary for people who want to save the planet, but its inhabitants are willing to do anything for refuge. Even lie. Is Casey ready to use technology to help Earth even though it failed her sister? C and Casey think what they know about each other and their worlds is true. Both are wrong. Smart, twisty, and electrifying. This is the work of an astonishing mind. I think it's some sort of, like, eco-sci-fi something or other. Again, not entirely sure what the vibe is, but I really hope I like it. And I have a funny feeling that I will. And finally, last on my list is Hummingbird Salamander by Jeff Vandermeer. Mainly because I love the Southern Reach trilogy by Jeff Vandermeer, and that's kind of what inspired this video. The Southern Reach trilogy by Jeff Vandermeer is a sci-fi thriller trilogy, also kind of eco-sci-fi, and it is a series that I don't think most people would assume that I love, but I do. But it's got absolutely nothing in common with any of the other books that I love. And I need to read more from Jeff Vandermeer, and for some reason Hummingbird Salamander is one that's calling to me as the next one of his that I think I might like. And again, pretty sure it's an eco-thriller. which is a weird genre. I don't really understand it. But this is about a woman who follows clues from a hummingbird to a salamander or something. She takes a hummingbird from a storage unit and sets in motion a series of events that spin beyond her control, and soon her family are in danger. She's desperately seeking answers about why this woman contacted her, why she's running out of time. Apparently this is Jeff Vandermeer at his brilliant cinematic best, wrapping profound questions about climate change, identity, and the world we live into a tightly plotted thriller full of unexpected twists and elaborate conspiracy. I don't know what to make of that, but after how much I love the Southern Reach trilogy, I really hope that I love this too, and I would love to get to this one sometime soon, but I really don't know. I don't know, I can't make any promises. Jeff Vandermeer with that other trilogy is one of my absolute favourites, so I really hope this ends up being awesome too. There we have it. There is a stack of Outside of the Jade Box books. Let me know what you think of any of them, if you've read any of them, if you think I will like them, please. And if you have any other weird recommendations, perhaps, that are a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but you still think I might enjoy, feel free to let me know them down below as well. But that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, give us a thumbs up, chat to me down below, all that jazz. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I would be eternally grateful for that. But otherwise, I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye!